I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I will keep on saying it until the world understands. It's so important to get out into nature. It's so important to get away from anything, any opportunity to get yourself involved with anything that might not be completely constructive to your well-being. It's important to just be out here. In an environment like this, there is absolutely nothing is man-made around me. Nothing around me here is man-made. Nothing at all. It's all nature. It's all natural. There's no metal. There's no plastic. Nothing like that. There's no sound of technology. There's no sound of the radio, of anything like that. And it's a beautiful place to be. And then you wonder why we have to continually try to alter our environment, to what we think is better. Better for what? Better for whom? Better for nature, us, the planet, the animal. What? This has got to be the best because this is nature. There's no better than this because this is what the earth in its entirety, the climate, everything, nature in its essence is producing. So how can you improve on this? You can't improve on this. This is wonderful, but we do keep trying to improve on it, don't we? We do keep trying to, we know best, we are humans, we know best, so we're going to do this and we're going to build here and we're going to change the course of that waterway so that it then floods a floodplain, destroys livelihoods and agricultural land and whatever, and we will keep on doing this. I'm going to bomb you if you bomb me, and my bomb's bigger than your bomb, my dad's bigger than your dad, and eventually Mother Nature will just brush us away. And I've said this before and I shall keep on saying it. Mother Nature will brush us away and it will end the human race. She will end the human race and then start again and give somebody else, give some other life form, some other sentient life form the opportunity to cock things up just as we've done, and then Mother Nature will brush them away as well and continue on into the future. And we won't even be remembered. In years to come, once we've been wiped out, archaeologists of civilizations that will come in the future will have to dig deep to find any sign of us. We will be like that kind of enigmatic being in the past, and they'll say, oh yeah, we believed that they had some kind of motorized way of getting around, but we're not sure. It's just a theory. It's not just theory, but let's forget about them and think about something else. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our destiny. That's what's going to happen to us. And it's quite funny. And we deserve it. Molly doesn't. Do you not, Molly? Because Molly's innocent. Animals are innocent. She's mooching about here. We're under the trees. It's very cool because it's another warm morning. And I found out yesterday, because it's been very warm the last few days and she's been sluggish and she's been struggling. Then it was quite cool yesterday and she bounced around all day like a pup, and it was wonderful and it did my heart good. And she's the same today. So we're going to enjoy our little walk and our little talk. Can you hear the collared dove in the background? Collared doves didn't come into this country till the mid-50s, and by the 70s they were vermin. There's a nice little piece of information for you. If you hadn't tuned in, you wouldn't have known. So what you've got to try to do when you're out in nature is just try to remember and bear in mind the environment that you've left. If you've been at home or in the office or in the car or in the shop or whatever, wherever you've been, remember that environment you've been in, because that gives you a yardstick by which to judge nature. And you will find if you just go into nature, it's beautiful, yes, it's fine, and it's gorgeous, and it's everything wonderful. But if you use this as a yardstick, if you use the environment you've been in as a yardstick, then nature takes on a whole different vibe. It becomes a paradise compared to the place you've been. I've just driven on the road here, and the schools are just going in, so it's very, very busy, and there's lots of traffic, and people won't let each other out, and it's all people gnarling and groaning and beeping their horns at each other. And then if I think about that and think about where I am now, it makes all this even more magical, as if it wasn't magical enough. I think our relationship with nature changed significantly with the Industrial Revolution, when the mills and the factories started popping up, because that's when we had to start having a working day, which meant sleeping at specific times, 3 square meals a day, because breakfast, lunch and dinner or tea were taken at the convenience of the working hours of the mill. Before that, we ate when we were hungry and we slept when we were tired. I think we were more in sync with nature, and we actually worked our lives around nature. And then the Industrial Revolution came up and factories came up, and we started working by the diktat of the employer, the factory owner. And that's also when we started chucking pollutants out into the atmosphere. Before then, there were none. The only thing I suppose would be methane coming out of cows' arses. And I'm no big eco-zealot, but I remember when I was young, we could stand on hills. I live in the industrial northwest, and we could stand on local hills and look down, and you couldn't see the town because it was under this brown fog of pollutants. And now, a few years later, you can look down, yes, and the air is cleaner. So, you know, but that at what cost? We ended the Industrial Revolution. But even though the Industrial Revolution, even though heavy industry, especially in the UK, isn't as prevalent, I don't know whether our relationship with nature is doing any great reset. We still seem so remote. We still seem so far away from nature compared to what we were like before the Industrial Revolution, when we were completely in sync with nature, when nature dictated everything we did, probably dictated our thoughts, because our routine was working around the seasons. Everything depended on that, what we ate, what we hunted. It all went with nature. It was all dictated by nature, and it isn't anymore, because we can bring goods in from other places, we can freeze goods, we can dry goods, we can do whatever we want, and that means that nature is going further and further away all the time, and the only significance nature really seems to have now is as pleasure, somewhere to go to get a bit of fresh air, and that's a shame. So you need to be out here in nature, away from all the distractions of a busy life, because I think when you're out in nature, it's good for your health. I honestly believe that being out in nature helps you to live longer. You have a healthier mind, you're breathing fresh air, you're getting exercise. It's all a win-win. There is no downside to being out in nature. Everything we've made since the Industrial Revolution has made us more advanced, has made life easier. But is being more advanced always an advantage? Discuss. And in the meantime, we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.